Sisters who watch. Sisters who watch. Sisters who watch.
Devil Wears Prada.
Hey y'all, hey, welcome to Sisters Who Watch.
Hello, I'm Shelby.
And I'm Laura, and we're sisters who watch everything. TV, movies, sports, concerts, and even another sequel. We love to watch, we love talking about it even more. Today we're watching The Devil Wears Prada 2.
Yes, Anne Hathaway, Meryl Streep, Emily Blunt, and Stanley Tucci are all back.
That's it. And before we get into our review, please make sure you're giving Sisters Who Watch 5 stars. 5 stars wherever you listen. Rate, download, subscribe. Follow us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. You get updated when we drop new episodes, and on social media at Sisters Who Watch. Thank you for your support. Okay, Shelby, can you give us a little background about The Devil Wears Prada 2?
Yes, so here's the logline. Andy Sachs reunites with Miranda Priestly as they navigate their careers amid the decline of traditional magazine publishing. And what's insane is the original movie came out in 2006, so 20 years later. They did a sequel. The whole cast is back. Very exciting. The director's back, David Frankel. The writer's back, Aline Brosh McKenna. Like, it's wild how everyone returned. And I personally was very excited. This was on both of our most anticipated titles lists. I actually recently rewatched The Devil Wears Prada because it was on a plane, and I love a romance comedy on a plane movie, so I was feeling nostalgic, and it was great. Holds up very well. So I guess you would say I had high expectations coming in because I was excited, but sort of low given how we know sequels are.
Yeah.
When you even it out, I was probably in the middle.
Yes. I'm with you. My expectations were like mid, right? I knew it was going to be cute and fun, right? I feel like since that movie came out in 2006, I feel like Anne Hathaway has really blown up. Emily Blunt has really blown up. Obviously, Meryl Streep has continued to be Meryl Streep, but I feel like this whole cast just has had really huge careers, everyone in it. So I was intrigued to see, right? Like, they're not going to make a bad movie. Meryl Streep is involved, Anne Hathaway, Emily Blunt. Like, it's going to be a decent movie. How has it been doing at the box office, Shelby? Do you know?
It's done great. So in its opening weekend domestically, it made $77 million, and then worldwide, it made $233 million total. So had a really, really strong opening weekend at the box office, and it had, I want to say, over like 75% women attending, which makes sense. And another reminder that women really do show up. They really do.
I hadn't seen the first one in a very long time, right? I remember we saw the movie when we were young, but I haven't seen it in forever. So what did you think about the first movie? Did you love it? Like, were you expecting the plot to be similar in any way? What were you thinking?
I thought the first movie was great. It's funny because Hacks is back. I'm a little behind, but watching the movie, I'm like, it's kind of like that weird relationship with your boss. Like fish out of water. Forgetting the term, but when you polar opposites working together, that's Miranda and Andy. And I also think, as someone who now is a working woman watching the Devil Wears Prada movies, a lot of the themes and messages are around work and how to balance that. Are you working too much? Corporate culture. So all of it is very relatable, which is another reason why I think this movie does so well. Like, everyone, especially adults, knows what it's like to work and have a boss that's maybe too tough, or that you don't get along with, or a coworker that's kind of nasty and is like competing with you. And so it's all very relatable themes. I honestly don't remember what your question was. Did I answer it?
Yeah, how did you like the first movie, and how were you, did you think the current movie was going to be similar in any way?
Yeah, the first movie was great. It's a classic. That's why I said, like, I rewatched it on a plane. Like, I definitely enjoy rewatching stuff like that. I will say the first movie is less of a traditional rom-com. It's more of a like a dramedy to me, and so is this movie. Like, and we'll get into it, but I do think this movie leans more kind of comedy with romantic elements and or dramedy with romantic elements, which I don't mind. And I personally think the love stories in both are and that it's more about like the work culture. And so I was just curious to see how they would build off of The Devil Wears Prada, because the first movie became a bit of a cult classic. It wasn't a huge like box office success, like it did well, but over time people are like, wow, that's a really good movie. And
Mhm.
then you talk about the rise of a lot of the actors from that. You already mentioned like Anne Hathaway and Emily Blunt are two of the biggest stars ever, Anne Hathaway winning an Oscar. And then you also have the rise of like Anna Wintour and the Met Gala and just all things fashion. So I think Devil Wears Prada became really big in culture and has had a moment beyond that, which is why I think it's done so well. So all in all, I was excited for it. I think the first movie is a classic, and it's hard to recreate a classic or continue the story. And I think they did a solid job.
Yeah, absolutely. Before the movie, had you heard Lady Gaga and Doechie's new song?
That is.
Spotify knows me quite well, and it was like new song from Lady Gaga and Doechii, because right, those are two artists who I listen to a good amount. And I was like, oh, it's for the Devil Wears Prada. It's called Runaway. So I had listened to it maybe like a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago.
Wait,
And I was like,
Dochi's in it?
yes.
Lady Gaga performed but in the movie, but Dochi wasn't there.
I know, but okay. So they released this single called Runway. It was before Lady Gaga was on stage. And it was like cameras flashing there in Milan, and they're just like it's a montage and they're playing the song Runway. And it's Lady Gaga and Doechii. And then it was also the song at the end of the movie. They played it again.
Okay. I
Yes.
missed that.
So
Well,
they
maybe
were
I missed that. I guess I didn't know Dochi was in it because I didn't hear about the song beforehand.
So they released that single, right, a couple weeks before the movie came out. So I had known about it. I had been listening to it.
Mm.
But they also had like a surprise song from Gaga that they didn't release at the time. So in the movie, I was like, oh, this is a new Gaga song that I didn't know about. So so good for Gaga. She's booked. She did two songs for the new movie.
Did you
Um,
hear that they had to keep her appearance in the movie under wraps? And her fans were like, "Why is Gaga in Milan?" And they had to like keep it very under wraps. Like people, but it was while Gaga was doing her world leg of her European leg of her tour, so it wasn't
mhm.
crazy that she was in Europe. But they had to keep it really tight because they wanted it to be a surprise.
Yeah, that's so funny. Yeah, I thought her cameo was really great. Well, there were lots of cameos in this movie.
And the fact that her and Miranda didn't get along and
Yeah,
that
that
she was only doing a favor so she could still get more runway covers.
so good. Yeah, and I recommend watching the music video for the song Runway. It's really good. Like Lady Gaga and Doechii, and there's like really dancing and outfits. Yeah,
Mm.
go watch the music video. So that song, I listened to it, watch the music video. I'm like, oh, like it got me excited for the movie. Um, so that was cool. Yeah, so starting out, we see Andy and she's receiving this journalism award, and then they find out right before she is announced as a winner that everyone at their paper, at their job, all get fired. What did you think of this opening scene?
Very timely.
I know, right? From
I
two
thought it was
women
very
who have been
topical.
laid off. Yeah,
Yeah, I was like relatable.
I know. It was interesting how this movie was like adapted into like the modern workforce. It
Great.
was a great commentary about like the
So good.
corporate world, because I was like, oh, like BJ Novak. I'm like, this is every man in San Francisco,
Laura. When
every
he
big
showed
finance
up
guy.
in
Yeah,
that athleisure outfit,
in the Patagonia
the
vest.
Patagonia vest, I was like, please. I was
That's
like
every man in New York, every man in San
the
Francisco.
finance bro uniform. They all
Yeah,
have the Arc'teryx sweater or whatever it is, that brand. I'm like, please, it's a uniform.
it really is.
And the consultants, we'll get into it. But I went to see the movie with a friend. We used to work together, and we both have like business strategy backgrounds. And so seeing consultants come in, making decisions of like laying off people, I was like, this is too close to home, please. It was hilarious.
Yes.
Hilarious.
Yeah. So seeing Andy get fired, make this impassioned speech, and then goes viral, I thought was really interesting. And then simultaneously, we're seeing that Miranda Priestly is going through this controversy online about Runway because they endorsed a brand that uses like child labor or unsustainable, unethical label. So Miranda Priestly, we also see her, she's going through this controversy simultaneously because they Runway endorsed a brand that uses unsustainable, unethical labor. So that it becomes a whole thing, which I thought was also interesting because that's something that people are really thinking about now. They're like, oh, you need to be supporting ethical companies. Yeah, fast fashion. Yeah. Terrible. Somehow Andy is discovered by the head who runs Runway and is like, hey, we need a journalist to come cover this all up and make this better for us. Are you interested? What did you think when that happened? Did you think, oh, like she went that viral that this guy just saw her? Like, what? Did that make sense to you?
This did make sense to me, right? You have Andy decide to leave fashion behind, become a real journalist, and of course the small real journalist papers are all dissolving. So that wasn't a shock to me. And then of course Miranda's getting canceled because she accidentally or like didn't got in partners with like a bad company that was working with like a sweatshop. And so that came out and was going viral. And it doesn't surprise me that leadership could be a little aloof and just think, oh, a quick fix, bringing in a journalist. Like, I feel like they sometimes do like random ideas. Or you look at this, CBS News right now being owned by Paramount Skydance, they brought in someone named Barry Weiss who has a journalist background, but had done more conservative journalism, and it was a kind of like a blog app to run CBS News, someone who wasn't really qualified. But they were like, oh, that's someone who has like a different point of view, done more interesting things. She should run the CBS News organization. And everyone was like, what? Like, I feel like this is happening right now. CEOs do this. So it was honestly very relatable. It doesn't surprise me. Like, even you think about now how influencers are on like red carpets. Like, they're getting jobs that journalists would because all of a sudden they're like very big and popular and viral. So it all checked out. Could you say like that's unrealistic? Maybe, but that's how people are getting opportunities these days. And when you're desperate, these CEOs were like, what's something creative or new we could do?
Yeah, no, that's a good point. Right? People are just throwing ideas at the wall and seeing what sticks in this economy. Yeah, I thought it was very serendipitous. I was like, oh, now Andy's back and is going to be working with Miranda. It felt a little random to me. I was like, And then we find out in the end that it wasn't so random. That she was brought in for a reason by a special someone. So I was obviously excited to see Andy go back. And I thought her meeting with Miranda was really funny because Miranda's like, who are you? Who are you? Like, she had no idea who Andy was.
And Nigel's like one of the Emilys. She's like, huh? So funny. Which is funny because it's not even her name. She just combined her with the other Emily. Hilarious. Exactly. Yeah. Meryl Streep was cooking this entire movie. Woo! Miranda Priestly. Such an icon.
Yeah, I loved everything that came out of Miranda's mouth. I thought she was so funny. I loved how she would like say slightly problematic things just like it's nothing. And the stunning assistant
Simone Ashley
from
Bridgerton. You didn't watch that, but she was great in it.
Yeah, the assistant kept being like, you can't say that. I just loved all of those moments. I think that it's interesting how you were calling this movie like romantic comedy. Like there was like such little romance in this movie.
No,
Like you gave like a true, you said there were romantic comedy elements.
I said romantic elements that were the back burner. I said the core of the movie was a dramedy.
Yes, yes, but like the romance, I wouldn't even like like I don't even think the movie had romance. And technically sure it did, but I feel like this was like a kind of a true comedy to me. And what did you think of Stanley Tucci? What do you think of his character?
Great. Nigel's great. Honestly, all the characters are great. They just brought them all back. And I like that he's always been Andy's ally, you know?
Yes, yes.
Like,
Always
always looking out for her, taking her lunch, giving her samples. I also think he was like the backbone, or is the backbone for Miranda too. And she did take him for granted, which by the end she realizes. But
Mhm.
he's like I'd say kind of the heart of the movie.
Yes, definitely. And then we see that Emily, it's funny how Emily Blunt's character's name is Emily. I don't know if that was like on purpose when they originally did the movie. But I thought that was like, oh. But she's now running Dior. She's like one of the execs at Dior. So I thought that was cool how Andy got to meet up with her again and we see that she's, doing big things. What did you think of Emily killing it?
Yeah, no, I think it was cool to see 20 years later where they all ended up,
Yeah.
and that she's still in fashion. She's still getting to do what she likes to do, even though we find out later on maybe this working at Dior wasn't her dream. But I do think it's cool to see, again, the commentary about like work and women and like what they're all doing. And Andy didn't get in a relationship, but Emily's divorced with 2 kids and has like an awful ex-husband who's like a finance bro. Like it's just interesting seeing the dynamics and like what they all did, and
Yeah.
how both Emily and Andy were like, oh yeah, we like kind of were friends, we should have stayed connected, but you didn't. And I do think like you leave a job, you had really close friends, but you don't always like stay connected. So honestly, all of it was very
Yeah.
relatable to me.
Yeah, it's so true. Yeah, you just kind of see how life just keeps on moving, right? 20 years
Yeah.
later, they're all doing their thing.
So after we meet Emily at Dior, Andy basically is trying her best to help Miranda and save Runway, right? She's basically like a savior. Miranda doesn't believe it. She's like, you think you can help as our new features editor? And remember when she says that she fires someone because she's apparently, uh, Andy has a new job, and
Right.
she was like the first in her family to go to college. Feel good? And like Miranda was
Shady.
so sassy and rude. But it was fun seeing their dynamic, and basically Miranda continually to undermine her. But Andy comes up with a great idea. Oh, let me interview Sasha, the billionaire that Miranda's been obsessed with, has never been able to get an interview with. And so she goes on a hunt to try to get this interview. And somehow, after a lot of hard work and talking to her black best friend who's in the art world, gets to connect and is able to secure the interview. And Miranda's impressed. And because Miranda's impressed, she invites Andy to the Hamptons. And Andy gets to wear this beautiful dress. And so my friend and I, when we were watching, we're like, whoa, this is the most aspirational movie. Like the whole time I was like, I want to go
Yeah.
to the Hamptons. I want to go to Sasha's house in Vermont or wherever it was. I want to be driven by a driver and sit at Fashion Week. Like the whole time, I was just like, oh, the
Yeah.
fashion, the lifestyle, the luxury, so aspirational. I don't think the first movie was that aspirational. Like I feel, because it was mostly right Andy as a struggling assistant working for a tough boss. But this, because they're like another level, I was like, ooh, I'm here for it. And so yeah, I loved all those scenes.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. The Hamptons was cute. A lot of cameos again. I was like, "Oh my gosh, how many celebrities are in this movie?"
Carl Anthony Towns, the New York Nick.
Classic. Classic. Yeah, so that was cute. And then yeah, we go to the birthday party. of the head of Runway. This, I think it's the head of Runway's like 75th birthday or 70th birthday, and we see lots of celebrity cameos. What was your favorite cameo that you had in this movie? Did you recognize the assistant who was sitting at the chair? Do you know Caleb Huron? Have you heard?
No, I had to look him up.
But I feel like he's popping up like all over my social media. Like I'm not even trying. Like I just kept on seeing this man. I was like, who is this? But he's like a very popular like comedian that a lot of people like these days. So I recognized him. I was like, I know that guy. So he I feel like is really blowing up right now online. I feel like I see his podcast clips everywhere. So I recognize him. And at the party, there were so many people. Like Law Roach was there. It was hard to keep up.
Yeah, it went by really quick, but I thought I saw like the Giggly Squad people. I was like, is that Hannah Berger? It's like,
I can't. Yeah, it
which
was
honestly would make sense. I'm like, oh, New York people or comedians, women.
exactly. It's his big
Irv.
birthday. Yeah, Irv, everyone's there. Miranda makes a grand entrance. Andy's there. Emily Blunt is there with her new man, um,
Benji, played by Justin
Benji.
Theroux,
Yes,
who's Sasha Barnes' ex-husband.
yes. So I'm like, I'm like, y'all keep on dating each other. It's like Southern Charm. It's like, how many people are in Charleston? Like, how many people are in New
Please.
York? Like, y'all keep on dating each other. So
Emily
that,
just wanted a benefactor, and she said that.
right.
He
I
was footing the
mean,
bill, getting her jewels. I mean,
fair enough.
power to her.
Right. So yeah, so we find that out that they're dating. And suddenly at this party, Irv drops dead and he dies. That was so dramatic.
So dramatic. My friend and I were like, we feel like Miranda's somehow not going to get the promotion that she wanted.
I know.
But we didn't know how. I thought Irv would change his mind, not that he would die.
I know. I thought
Like,
that was smart writing because, right, Miranda's been set on this promotion. She's like, I'm going to be, I'm going to be it was like, I forgot. But Miranda was set on this promotion.
she
She was so
she was
excited.
she was already the head right of Runway, but she was going to be like the chief content officer across all of their properties. So they had like other magazines and other businesses. So
Yes.
big role.
But then, of course, she doesn't get promoted yet, even though Irv has promised this to her. Irv drops dead. And now his son
Jay,
is played by BJ Novak has now inherited the company, right? He's running the shots.
and everyone's nervous.
Everyone is nervous, rightfully so, right? You now have this finance tech bro with this Patagonia here. He brought in his team of consultants. I was like, this is so tech, this is so finance, and this is so real, like what's happening right now. All these companies are like, how can we shrink our margins, right? How can we cut costs? How can we be more efficient? They don't care about, the status quo or history, like how things have been done. They're just like money, profit, revenue, all this stuff. I just thought that was like really topical because so many companies are doing this right now.
Management consultants are only in business because they help companies cut costs for
Right.
decades. All they do is just show up and it's like, okay, how do we increase margins? How do we cut costs? Da, da, da. And most of the times it's layoffs. So it definitely, they're looking for efficiencies.
That's it. So that felt very like too close to home, right? So, and then BJ Novak is like, no more drivers. We're only doing Ubers now, right? No more fancy lunches. Use the cafeteria, all this
No
stuff.
corporate card,
Yes.
no first
And
class.
yes, that was another funny moment, right? For Milan Fashion Week, Miranda's going with Andy, and Miranda has to sit in economy.
Blasphemous.
That was a funny moment. And it's so funny. Simone Ashley was like, can we get a glass of champagne for Miss Priestly? And then the flight attendant was like, we don't do that back here. Oh, I thought that was so funny.
Crazy. Yeah, all of the consultant Jay in charge, like him just showing up in Miranda's office, him saying, "Oh, let's just have an important meeting in the cafeteria for everyone to see." I'm just like, it's hilarious.
And everyone was like, Miranda's in the
She's
cafeteria.
never been to that floor.
He was like, we have
When
a cafeteria.
Nigel said that, I screamed.
Yeah, that was really funny.
And then this is all happening when they're gearing up for Milan Fashion Week, the big moment where Nigel organizes the runway show and the gala and the performance of Lady Gaga. And so when they fly to Milan, they're all in economy and they're all stressed about what's going to happen to runway
Right.
because they're all worried their jobs are going to get cut. And Andy's assistant is smart. While she's getting froyo, she drops her phone underneath the table in the cafeteria and finds out what they're planning to do. And of course, shocker, the consultants tell them, we're going to cut all these roles, we're going to take away this, da da da. And right, they're
Reorg.
going to cut a lot of the senior people, and people have been there a while because they're the most expensive. Classic.
Of course. Classic.
And so everyone's nervous. And when they get to Milan, Andy is like, I need to help Miranda. She shows up to Miranda's house before Milan, and Miranda's like, get out. And Andy is bold enough to go up the stairs, even though everyone was like, okay. Even Miranda's husband was like, whatever you say. But Andy is like a dog with a bone. She doesn't stop. And she decides to go to Emily, played by Emily Blunt's help, because Emily's dating Benji. And she's like, well, maybe if Benji buys the company or buys Runway from Jay, then we can stay in power. Miranda will keep her job. I'll keep my job. We can just keep Runway as is. So Andy's doing this all behind everyone's back.
Right.
And then she goes to like a trial run dinner with the whole team. And she's like, oh, I feel like Miranda knows something's up. So we got to tell her. So her and Emily go to tell Miranda in Milan that Benji's buying Runway. And Miranda's like, I can't believe you would betray me like this. And I even butchered the line, but it was so iconic. And Andy's like, wait, no, Miranda, this is to help us. And then she's like, is it Emily? And then Emily's like, no, she's right. And then Andy's like, what do you mean? Andy is shocked. And Emily reveals, yeah, no, Benji's buying Runway for me, so I can run it.
Crazy.
Gagged. Not Emily being the villain.
Yikes. Yeah, that was a good plot twist. Very good.
Did not see that coming. And I think it showed that Emily did not leave Runway because she wanted to. She felt like she was pushed out by Miranda. And then Miranda was like, yeah, I pushed you out because you didn't have what it takes to run Runway. She like destroyed her. Like she was like, yeah, you don't have it in you.
Yeah, that was brutal. That was brutal. Yes. And one thing I wanted to know, I did not love Andy's fashion this movie. I felt like I was looking at her and I'm like, she looks kind of bad.
Oh.
I didn't really like her outfits. I kept on being like, why is she wearing that? I don't know if it was just me, but I obviously Miranda looked like perfect every time I saw her on screen. But yeah, I loved Anne Hathaway's hair looked great. I kept on being like, her hair looks amazing, but
literally
her outfits were questionable.
Whispered to my friend, do we think that's her real hair? Because it looked so good.
I know, it looked really good.
I was like,
doing her hair.
Is that real? Like, it looks that good. I was questioning whether or not that was her real hair. I was really impressed.
Me too.
I will say, when this happens, you feel for Andy because she's like, no, Miranda, I would never really want to hurt you. So now she's like devastated. And she's like, I don't know what to do. Miranda looks upset because now, right, she's losing her job. But Andy kind of gives Miranda a pep talk and is like, we have to do something. And Miranda's like, And she basically tells Andy to like call. She shows up the next morning, knocks on Andy's door. Andy's like disheveled. She's like, time to get to work. I'm going to shows, but you're going to make some calls. And so then Andy's just in her hotel room making calls for hours, trying to get, which we eventually realize are investors. And then Miranda is just being a baddie, going to various Milan fashion shows, keeping up appearances. And Andy, and this again was when it's like very like business corporate, because they are like, okay, if Benji's gonna buy Runway, we need to buy the parent company, the global company. And
Yes.
I was like, they're really thinking. So basically, right, instead of just buying BET, let's buy all of Paramount Skydance. That kind of vibe.
Right.
And basically outsmarting Benji and Emily, and they convince Benji's ex-wife, Sasha,
Yes.
to buy all of Elias Clark, which took me out.
That was a good twist.
Sweet revenge. And so Jay is literally at Lake Como with Emily and Benji. And then he's like, hey guys, sorry, I got a better offer. I just sold Elias Clark. So now Runway's owned by someone else. And they're like, what?
Crazy. Yeah.
You can't do that. And I'm like, classic. That's business.
Classic
Money talks. They don't play around. And
yeah, and you know that BJ Novak doesn't want to deal with this company. Just give that man the money.
oh my
and
gosh, it's easier.
Yeah.
Get all that off his hands. Especially, we know media, magazines, newspapers, failing assets. They even talk about it. Oh, we're not really a magazine. We don't really print. We just do digital and social media.
That was good commentary as well.
Such good commentary. And so while this is happening, Miranda and Andy have to leave Milan because they have to go talk to Sasha about the deal. And she's like, no, but I can't leave. What about the show? And Andy's like, Nigel can give the speech. And she's like, oh, he wouldn't want to do that. And then Andy's like,
Mm.
And then she realizes, dang, I've been taking Nigel for granted. He needs more opportunity. He's the one who even wrote the speech. Why should I give it? And so love that Nigel gets his flowers and they have like a little sweet moment. And he gives that gala keynote instead of her. And then Andy and Miranda fly back to the States to finalize the deal with Sasha.
Wild. I wonder what that flight route was like. Unless, were they flying private? I think so.
I think at this point they probably were.
Yeah. It was like
So
Milan to Vermont. So yeah, that was, I really liked how the story wrapped up, right? It was very poetic, right? Sasha Barnes is getting revenge on her ex-husband, snatching the deal right out of his hands. And also Miranda is also kind of getting her revenge on Emily. And also we're preserving, right, Runway and the company in its current state, right? We're not corporate-fying it and finance bro.
Or techifying it even more. Because Benji was like, yeah, I think with Runway, like, eventually we won't need, artists or writers or photographers. We'll just use AI. And Miranda was like,
I can't.
No.
Classic tech.
No.
Classic billionaire propaganda. No, it was like so spot on. I was like, oh my gosh, like
that. I mean, Jeff Bezos did buy the Washington Post. I mean, it's
crazy.
This is happening, people.
It's happening. It's happening. And that's why I was like watching this, like, oh my gosh, like it's too much because it's real. It's very, very real. Yeah. But at least Runway gets its happy ending, right? The status quo is preserved and we're keeping, AI out of it for now. Thank God for that. Yes. How did you like the ending of the movie?
I thought the ending was really satisfying. Runway gets to stay the same. And Miranda gets the promotion. Yeah. But it's also still running Runway, and Nigel's still there, and Andy's still there, and they'll have offices next to each other. Yeah. I will say, and I know you mentioned this movie didn't really feel romantic. I think part of the issue is because I couldn't stand Andy's romantic interest, Peter.
Yeah, he was kind of a flop. I'm like, who is this guy?
No chemistry. He's
okay.
Every time they had scenes, I was like, oh, get away. Yeah. And then it's so funny. My friend sent me a TikTok where someone literally made a video about that. And it was like to some funny sound. And every time his photo showed up, they're like, And it's like, I guess everyone felt that way. It didn't hit. It really.
No, he was icky. He also looked old. I'm like.
Not for Anne. No. Not for Annie. Not for Andy. No. Everything about it was bad. Yeah, he
Yeah.
was not the right one. And so, but she reunites with Peter at the end. She bought an apartment in the building that he constructed. So I guess it's love, even if I don't believe it. And Andy has her nice office. But the real thing that's kind of funny to me is Emily gets demoted by working at Coach. So she's kind of been blackballed a little. And I thought that was like a funny thing. Like, yeah, I now work at Coach. It's like brutal because Coach is not as big as Dior. But at least her and Andy are friends again, which is nice. I'm sure Miranda will never trust her. But
No. And it was interesting how Andy could just move past the lying and the backstabbing that Emily did. I thought that was kind of too perfect. She was like, "You don't hate me?" She's like, "No, it's fine. We're friends. Let's move on." I was like, if someone did that to me, lied to my face, went behind my back, like that was a very big betrayal, right? Like I don't think I would be able to be like, haha, tee hee hee, we're all good. Just like that. It felt a little too perfect.
that's fair.
But it's a movie. So but yeah, it's like Emily, you can't just, be sneaky like that. You can't be so snaky. So it's kind of like, she's still working at a good company, a reputable brand. But yeah, it kind of is like a little bit of karma for her. Yeah, just a little.
Just a little.
Yeah. So Shelby, is The Devil Wears Prada 2 a wait or a watch?
Definitely a watch. And I know you said at the beginning, like, yeah, of course Meryl Streep and Hathaway will be in a good sequel. And I'm like, I guess it's hard to like assume that these days, but I was really delighted. Delighted. I thought it was well done. I thought it was nostalgic. It hit all the beats. I also thought it was a lot of times when they make a sequel, it doesn't really connect to the times, but I thought this did really well.
Yeah, without being too cringy.
No, like all of the topics, so well done. And I, again, enjoyed the aspirational settings and the fashion. Like, I want to go to Lake Como. Let's book my flight.
Yes.
What about you? Is it a wait or watch?
Yeah, it's a watch. I thought it was really cute, really fun. I thought it was quite funny. So I enjoyed it. I thought the music was great in it.
It was
Yeah.
great.
I think that for the kind of movie it is, I thought it was like as great as it could be. I was like, yeah, no complaints, no notes. Great fun sequel. That was well done. It was unexpected, like twists and turns. I was like, oh, whoa.
Well
Yeah.
written, entertaining, kept you on your toes,
Yeah.
surprised you.
Yeah, so I thought it was great. It's exactly what you want it to be. So I enjoyed it. And it also made, I remember Shelby was like, oh, when you see it, it just makes you think a lot about, motherhood, womanhood, the working world. So it also just, yeah, was very topical and talked about a lot of interesting, timely things.
Yes, I guess we haven't dived into that piece as much, but that was a big takeaway for me. I definitely think Miranda's saying, I like to work. I'm a working woman. I enjoy it.
Yeah.
And I have missed things out with my kids, but I love work. I want to keep doing this. And I thought that was good because there are a lot of women that just do like to work and
Mhm.
who don't have kids and who do. And then are like, oh, well, shoot, I'm not spending enough time with them, but I do like what I'm doing. And I think a lot of times you just kind of see negative sides of women who work. But no, like these are baddies working and they enjoy it and they're good at it and they're accomplished. Like I think that was a really good message.
Yes. And that's something to be, yeah, applauded and celebrated.
Yeah, it's a good thing. Let's
Yeah.
celebrate Miranda
Yes, we
being
love
a CCO.
we love to see it. And if you enjoyed this episode of Sisters Who Watch, please make sure you're giving us 5 stars. 5 stars wherever you listen. Rate, download, subscribe. We really appreciate your support. Follow us on Apple and Spotify and on all social media platforms at Sisters Who Watch.
Yes, we really want to hear from y'all, so you can email us, DM us, comment, all the things. Let us know what you think. And if you have any suggestions, thanks for tuning in. Stay watching.